Peter McLaughlin. Looking back to your preliminary tasks, what do you feel that you have learned in progression from it to the full product? Here's the full product. Tim McNiven did the first report on the prelim itself, and we're going to show you the differences between the two tasks. Straight away, as you can see here, we've got a production logo to give it an authentic feel, and it's in the actual smashed house itself, so you can see that the picture company has a relation to the genre. Straight away we've got a sword and shot, and that can be related to horror and action and thriller genres. We've got blood, well, what looks like blood on the walls, and graffiti, and that can be related to crime and pain. Also, we added special effects onto the sword and in the shot itself to give it that shine and glimmer. Title here, we decided to choose this title as there was a location that we did not use in our filming, which was Regent House, and we needed a title for our film, so we decided Regent House would be an appropriate name. Plus it creates an enigma. What is this house? Where is it? Why is it related to the characters? Straight away here we have someone of an older age casted as the psychiatrist, because we felt it gives it that feeling of professionalism, because if we had someone of our age category casted as the psychiatrist, then it would completely take it away from the reality of the priest. The ink blots here were influenced by Watchmen. We thought our initial idea was the psychiatrist scene, and it was based on the scene of Rorschach and the psychiatrist. Close-up shots, we didn't use many of them in Jack Attack, plus it's framed well and it's got match on action, unlike Jack Attack when everything was slowed down tremendously. Reactions shot there followed by dialogue, so we're showing that we thought about how we're going to have the characters react to one another. Also, it works quite well because the way we filmed it, we filmed the patient, my role first, we filmed Mr. Marshall's role first, having him as a psychiatrist filming all of his lines, because he had other things to attend to, and then we did my lines as the patient, and we've put them together quite well. Fades and images of the house showing that the characters reflecting on this image of this house. So straight away the audience are thinking, what has this got to do with the character? Why is he here? What is this house?
You said that in the previous one. You're going to say that every time I show you a different one.
We tried to make the audience jump here, as created in most thrillers, with the sudden burst of explosive music followed by a violent action. Plus it sort of contrasts because of this nice psychiatrist's setting accompanied by this destroyed house. Here we have a link between the two characters as there's a sound bridge with the antagonist here in the house holding the hammer, which is quite menacing, and as you can see by the character's face coming up, he looks quite intimidated by the thought of what is going through his head. But the audience does not know if this is actual parallel editing, if this is happening at the same time and the character's thinking about what they may be doing, or this is all a figment of the character's imagination. With the violent movements and the character's expressions, you can see that these antagonists pose a threat to our protagonist.
Nothing.
But due to the psychiatrist not being in the position of the character, he doesn't know what is going through the patient's head. We had to be quite careful here with our framing, as we did this in school, so we had to make sure the blinds were shut, but unfortunately these set of blinds were broken, so we had to frame it quite carefully in case students were in the background. another jump there. Was trying to engage the audience, keep them involved, and excite them above all things. A reaction shot there showing that we've thought about again how the characters are going to respond and trying to make it as realistic as possible. We then show that these characters have a relation to the house, which may be the possible title, Regent House, as they're connected and they're walking out of it, showing that they belong there. Also, the umbrella here is quite a contrast, as you've got this destroyed setting matched with these pretty colours. The masks here, we thought about this quite thoroughly. We looked at different thrillers and horrors, and a mask seems to be quite a vital aspect, such as The Strangers, Clockwork Orange, and various other films like Vanilla Sky, where it's a psychological element. This shot here was influenced by Lost as they walked past.
I don't need medication. I need protection.
The use of music here builds with the car and fades out as it pulls in, giving it a menacing atmosphere. So we've clearly thought about the use of sound, unlike in Jack Attack, where we just uploaded random and inappropriate sound. To keep the suspense, we had to put a clip in from the psychiatrist to use parallel editing here, because if it was just one long take of the masked people, then the audience would be thinking, what is actually going on now? The sound there of the boot of the car opening, it's sort of and the lighting here is quite bright, so it takes it away from the realism, and the Porsche itself gives it that professional sense, because if we were to use a cheaper car, it may not seem to be this spectacular film which we're trying to make it to be. The opening here was influenced by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as the starring in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when it comes up with the title sequence, is in correlation with this clip here. So it relates to it and brings it all together.
Thank you, Peter.
Was that all right?